Hey guys, it is Kim Woods with the Beautiful Scar Project, and I am here with one of my favorite humans in the entire world, Monica Kerber. She is an angel mama. She has living kiddos. She is the hashtag queen. She used to sit on our board, and she is the one who's come up with all our amazing hashtags. So you have her to thank right there. So I'm so excited to talk to you today. And just kind of, we're right in the middle of International Bereaved Mother's Day. That just came and went this past Sunday. And then we have Mother's Day. We're on the lead up to Mother's Day, which can be kind of challenging for our community. There are a lot of feelings and emotions around both days. And so I'm excited to talk to you about that today. And I guess I just want to check in with you first and see how you're navigating both of those days.
Yes. Oh, thanks, Kim. You're one of my favorite humans too. I love you.
Yeah.
I have to say, because I always like to say this, Kim was the first person that ever said to me, "Oh, hi, you're Hazel's mom," the first time I met you. Do you remember that?
Yep, I do. Many a year ago.
Yes. So it's interesting. I'm 7 years out from our loss of Hazelnut. And this past year with the pandemic and all the things, it's been kind of crazy, but there's been a lot of peace and time to self-reflect and focus on self-care, which I think is so important. And so I think I would tell you, how am I doing? I'm probably the best I've ever been.
That's great.
Since 2014, which feels really good. But Mother's Day in and of itself is such a bittersweet day for me, as I think it is for most moms who experience any kind of loss, and not just a loss, but moms who carry the babies that they want in their hearts that they've never had. So it's a special day. I hold it really dear to me, but it's always has its challenges.
I love that. And I love that, 2020 was a really, really hard year in so many ways, but I think the slowdown did afford a lot of people the opportunity to kind of do some self-reflection, to do some healing, to do some grief work, and kind of really sit with where they're at. Scott, my husband, and I, we did the same thing where we identified some trauma responses that we were still utilizing, and we're 12 years out from the loss of Jackson, our first babe. And this will be 10 years out from the loss of Caleb and our fourth babe that we lost. And I got to tell you, it was a surprise. It was such a surprise to us. And we didn't know, right? Like, we weren't cognizant of the fact we weren't doing self-care. We weren't, cognizant enough. We weren't mindful enough that we still had some work to do. And we had kind of left off in some of our work that we needed to do. And so that's a huge reason why I wanted to talk to you about self-care. It's a conversation you and I have had for many years.
Right.
And I love seeing that healing piece. I love when we talk about Hazel. I love all the things you do to honor her. So I'm so glad to spend this time with you today.
Thank you.
And I'm so excited that you are feeling so good and so healthy and so strong, and that more healing has happened. So I think that's amazing. So speaking of self-care, you and I today are talking about physical self-care. And I'm curious about what are some things that you maybe wish, now that you have hindsight, right? And now you have 7 years out. What are some things that you wish, whether it was in the very beginning, whether it has been along your journey, what are the things that you wish you would have known about physical self-care, caring for your physical self?
Yep.
Grief.
I think in the very, very beginning, I wish I would have known that, because I suffered from insomnia really bad. And, and then I was having like reoccurring nightmares, and the solution was, here, just take these pills, which had all of the side effects that made me feel more awful. And for some people, maybe it works. For me, it didn't. It was not. I didn't respond well to them, and so I just wish I would have had more insight into, are there other options that are available, maybe even more natural, that I could, be taking? That was the big thing in the beginning.
Okay.
And then probably over time, it's been this journey of I'm working out now because it helps me feel really good.
Mm-hmm. You feel strong.
You feel strong. I have somewhere to put it. The good days, the bad days, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I can leave it somewhere.
Yeah.
Versus before, it was like this Pandora's box that I was trying to just stuff down. And then working out felt more like a punishment versus something that was, blessing me in a very positive way.
Sure.
And then obviously whatever we put in our body helps us to sleep better and work out better. And so a lot of those things, just making a conscious shift to say, you know what, I don't have to be angry at my body because I didn't carry a baby to term. I can still take care of myself in a positive way.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I had I've talked for many years about that feeling about your body and how you feel like sometimes your body failed you, or you failed your baby, or you failed your husband or spouse or partner or family and friends, like what have you. You spend so much time just having this adversarial relationship. I'm an emotional eater. And so for me, I'm like, I don't remember all the things that I was eating at the time, but I know none of it blessed my body. It made me feel worse, made me feel more tired. It made my hard days harder. It made my good days harder.
Right.
And I was the same way. It took me a really long time to realize that taking care of your physical body, whether it's just getting out of bed and drinking some water, remembering to drink water, whether it's taking the slowest walk of your entire life outside to get some vitamin D, like anything like that. It took me so many years to recognize that and to reconcile that and to really understand, taking care of your physical body is such an important part of grief, because you don't have energy, right? Grief takes all your energy. And so supporting yourself physically, and like I said, whether that's taking a walk, whether it's what you're eating, what have you, it doesn't matter. Sometimes a cookie's going to bless your body, right?
Yes.
Your hard days.
Yes.
A cookie's going to bless your body, and there's no shame in that game, is the way I look at it.
Right.
But finding what works for you.
Yes. It's
not a one size fits all. And so I love that perspective. Thanks for sharing that with us. So now we're 7 years out from the loss of Sweet Hazel, and you've done a lot of grief work. You've done a lot of healing. You've done a lot of coming to a place where I feel like you smile about Hazel.
Yes.
A lot, and do things to remember her. And then now, just recently, in the past, 6 months, something like that.
6 weeks-ish.
Decided to take this like new step.
Yeah.
In taking care of your physical body, but also kind of taking the next step in launching a new business, which I love your entrepreneurial spirit. It's just the best thing ever. Hence you're our hashtag queen. So can you tell me a little bit about what you're doing now?
Yeah, no, it's so like, again, the 2020 it was a challenge, I think, for everyone. It had so many blessings. And one of them was a time for me to slow way down. And so in my professional consulting and coaching practice, work was really slow. Which lent time for me to really listen to the desires on my heart. And I really came to the conclusion that I wanted to do more. I wanted to do more to serve others. I wanted to do more to help people who were struggling with how they feel, because for me so long, it was like, I kept it kind of separate. It was like, you eat healthy, do work out every day, and then this is who you are at work. But really the two of these, or this is who you are when you're parenting or with your spouse or your partner, but really it's a full life cycle. When one is out of balance, we're out of balance. And so I said to myself, I'm going to start a second business. And I've been a client of Arbonne. Only I would start a second business in a pandemic, right? But the platform is so amazing with Arbonne. It's a bulletproof business model. I've been a client for over 10 years. So I have personally consumed probably 300 of the 400 products, and I love them. My kids use them. My family uses them. And so I thought this is a no-brainer. This is an easy way for me to reach a community that I love in a different way than just, hey, how's your business going? Or what kind of strategic planning do you need? Hey, how's your skincare routine going? What are your weight management or weight loss goals? Do you want to sleep better? Just
how's your energy?
How's your energy? All the things that really feed us throughout our day. And so I took the leap, and it's been amazing. And I thought, well, other people who have experienced grief at some level would probably want to know the things that maybe they don't know, that they could be using or consuming, that are going to help them feel better about themselves in a time when they're feeling awful. And grief, we talk about this all the time, right? Grief is not linear. No. So it's like you and I both, 10 years out, you could be like, today's a great day, and tomorrow could be an awful day. Right.
Totally.
So that having the sustainability of it all, I think, is really important.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like I said previously, it took me so long to realize that taking care of your physical body is so important, especially when you are in the thick of it, when you're in the thick of having more bad days than good days, especially. In the very beginning, you're just trying to survive, right? Like we're just trying to survive every day. And then once you kind of start coming out and you're looking at what your new normal looks like, everything's so discombobulated that you don't know which way is up. And so having some touchstones, whether it's, I drink 30 ounces of water every single day. It doesn't matter, good day, bad day. That could be the only thing you do that day. And that's fantastic. Drinking 30 ounces of water, get it done. Some people are more ambitious and they're like, I'm going to train for a 10K. I've met mamas who have had C-sections after losing their babes, and they are training for Ironmans or half marathons. And I'm just like, get it, lady. Get it.
Do it. I know.
How do you do that? Go right. Get on with your bad self. That's incredible. And so that's something that I've really noticed and kind of put two and two together, that taking care of your physical body, not in spite of grief, but just while you're grieving.
Yes.
Not that grief ever goes away, but when you're really in the thick of it, I think is so important. So I love that you've used the products forever and ever, which I think is great. But I'm so proud of you that you've taken this leap. That's amazing. Because I feel like you have even more information than you did before. And so I would love to know, what are your top 3 products that if you're when I'm feeling at my worst, when I don't want to get out of bed, I have exactly zero energy, I feel so crappy. What do you wish that now? What do you wish you would have had in your routine to use as maybe that touchstone?
Yep. Well, you mentioned the 30 ounces of water, and I just don't think we drink enough water anyways. So it's definitely the water, but in this one is a fizz stick. And you were a big soda drinker, which you quit.
Oh gosh, heroin addict, soda drinker. Oh my gosh.
So I think for oftentimes when we're not sleeping well, we want more caffeine, or it's just kind of this vicious cycle, right? So fizz has caffeine in it, 55 milligrams, but only 20 calories and only 2 grams of sugar. So you're not ingesting, a bunch of junk into your body. Plus it's packed with vitamins, including B12, which we desperately need.
Yes, we desperately need B12.
And So I drop one into 32 ounces, and I usually do it like midday, but even if I'm feeling a little sluggish in the morning, because it just like is my get up and go. And it helps when you have a night where maybe you don't sleep as well. And then for years I've drank our detox tea, which is amazing to flush your system out. It has a mild taste like chamomile, and I'm not a big tea drinker.
Sure.
I know you like your coffee out of a teacup, but
I love my coffee out of a teacup. I wish I liked tea. I'm like the only Southerner you'll meet who doesn't like tea, but
I don't necessarily enjoy it either, but I do like it at night, and I mix it with our inner calm, which helps you to naturally relax to go to sleep. And so it helps with sleep patterns. And then you can also drop your detox tea in your fizzy and have it cold. We call it a tizzy. And so you can drink it cold. And those two things, like that combination has been really good for energy and sleep. And then the 30 days to healthy living, which, every day I have a protein shake after my workout. And the reason I love the program is because it helps people to reset their system, especially if they've gone through something. And you and I both know what it's like there's nothing worse than experiencing yourself postpartum with no baby.
Yeah.
And
100%.
And so I think being able to find a way to bless yourself, lose the weight or manage the weight however you need to in a way that's healthy and safe, and then it's sustainable, which is huge, because most people can't sustain some sort of up and down crash diet or yo-yo.
Oh gosh, that's been my life forever and ever. Amen. So
yep. Yeah. So those are probably like my big ones when it comes to, healthy living.
Well, and I feel like those are such easy, like touchstone practices, like keystone habits, where it's just, it's something that you can do every day for yourself, with the tea and with the fizz, and then doing that 30-day reset. I know for myself, like I'm somebody who I need a timeline. Like I need a timeline, and I need I can't deal with like crazy structure, but I do need a little bit of structure, because let's be honest, like otherwise it's just not good. Yeah. So I like that. I like that you can use that as your touchstone for physical health. And it's not anything extreme. It's not anything, someone saying like, oh, there's something wrong with you. You need to lose weight. It's literally about getting yourself to feel better postpartum, when you've got empty arms and a broken heart, and you're really struggling with how you feel about your body. So I love that. I think that's amazing.
And you make a good point about about having like a touchstone or all of us need some level of community. Like you and I both know that, right? Yeah. And so being able to walk alongside someone and coach them through that 30 days or whatever their time horizon is, and then celebrate them. Like for someone to call me and say, I don't drink Diet Coke anymore, I've lost 10 pounds. And it's because we've done this for the last 30 days together. It's a really beautiful thing. The coach in me loves being able to serve people at that level.
You've always been such a servant leader, and you're such an amazing coach. I mean, you've coached me in a million ways over the years that I've known you. And I love that we get to share our babies. Like we always say, I wish a million wishes we met in literally any other way.
I know.
But I'm so grateful to have had you on this journey and all the work you've done for Beautiful Scar Project over the years. So I don't want to take too much of your time, because I know you're crazy busy, but how does our community find you? How do people, if they are interested in any Airborne products, if they're interested in your story or Hazel, or how they could get in touch with you? What's the best way for them to find you?
Yep, probably social media is going to be the easiest. They can find me, right? You can find me on Facebook or Instagram, but I'll drop the link to my Arbonne website here in the comments so that they can go right to it. And then of course they have you and you have me.
I do. I know how to stalk you properly.
So through you can get anyone to me, I'm confident.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing your healing. You're glowing, and I'm so proud of you. And I love Hazel. You know how I feel about Hazelnut. And so thank you. Thank you for spending this time together today.
Oh, I love you, Kim. Thanks so much for having me.
Always.
Stay well, mamas.
Yes, absolutely. Stay well.